Anthropic lowering its prices for Claude AI right now is effectively Wayland Yutani giving you super cheap tokens for supplies to go colonize some distant planet that they want you to do because it's dangerous and freaking hard. And then when they come back in a year, immediately jacking up the price so high that your entire income is what you have to pay for oxygen just to survive. We have this narrow window right now where we can use these cheap tools to build our own factory. And if you don't do that while you're on your little colony planet with a sweetheart trade deal that you're starting off with, you're going to be screwed. We have the chance right now, this window, to use these tools to build a local machine, build a local LLM, and build it to do coding for you. So when the mothership comes back, you've already colonized the next 3 planets. You have your ability to make ships and travel the universe, maybe slower than Wayland Yutani, but you're not just their slave. I don't see any way around this, but maybe it's just as simple that the technology improvements are making it so that this is cheaper and their cost lowering they're doing right now is permanent. But to me, it really looks like this is just the grab to get all of the resources, get all of the market, crash all the competition, obviously get rid of the manual coders like me, but get rid of all of the other AI companies as well. And then when they're the only one in town, jack it up. Now, Anthropic, they might be really cool people. They might not be doing this, but someone will. And if it's the most effective tactic, that company will win, and that's the result we're going to end up in. So it's really important that if you are an engineer or not, this year, you need to start building a local LLM. I'm pretty sure within 2 years, these coding tokens are going to, whether they raise the price or lower them, is going to be more important than what happens to inflation with the dollar. These tokens are going to become our new currency eventually. So start building this right now. I'm going to talk about how we can go about doing that, but let's see how much we sort out just through our questions. But right now, if you're anyone, you can do this. Get started 2026. Let's see what we have in the new machine today.
Here are the 5 sections with 5 questions each.
What are the benefits of building your own local coding LLM?
Okay, well it's yours. You always have it. So if using Claude Code or another company gets really cheap, yeah, great, you don't use it. If it gets extremely expensive, you always have this. This is your safe deposit box. This is your retirement fund. This is your food, emergency food supplies that you have in your garage in case something goes wrong to make sure that your family doesn't starve in a disaster. There's a lot of things we can use this for, but all you need to know for day one, for right now, because if we give you too many things to do, it's overwhelming, is you can use this, just the spark of this, to build anything else you need. So maybe it will take you a while, but you'll be able to do it. You won't be stranded. So just this one part, get a local LLM working on a machine you own in your house.
How does the cost of AI coding tokens impact the development process?
I hear a lot about this right now. I love trains. OpenClaw is a big topic. My brother is giving it a test ride, and it sounds freaking expensive. The amount of token use it's a big problem for a lot of people. And then when you try to start building something bigger, it just ramps up. So it's clear that this can be the difference between everyone can do it, only a few people can do it, and you can't do this. Also, the difference between, oh my gosh, my proof of concept works great. Oh, but when I actually do the real thing, the thing that would put, food in the fireplace wood in the fireplace and food on my table, I can't do that. It's going to cost more than the profit or the resources that I gain to take care of my family. It'll cost more than that than what I actually get from building it. If you own this on your machine, the cost does not go up. A little bit from electricity, don't even worry about that. So that gives you a flat minimum that you can't be fucked with beyond that point.
The use of AI coding tokens is a short-term trick to eliminate competition from manual engineers and will ultimately lead to a monopoly.
You know, every single sci-fi movie we have in the future is a monopoly. Even the good ones like Star Trek, it's still a monopoly. There's no concept in anyone's mind that would rationally have a bunch of little small companies or government things fighting it out and struggling, and they just can't quite seem to get the upper hand. The change in ability based on AI's acceleration is going to become so huge that eventually one will just be just one day ahead of the others, and one day means 100x, and it'll lead everyone else. So the monopoly is definitely going to happen. Now, what they do with it, I don't want to risk that. I think that we already see the flattening between professional engineers like me and people just picking it up who've never coded before. That'll just continue. Having this tapped in to an artificial intelligence coder that you own is going to be the biggest difference. Yeah.
As a non-technical person, I'm concerned about the long-term reliability of relying on AI for coding tasks.
So you're worried about using AI for long-term coding, but you're not an engineer. I don't fully understand the question, because if you're not an engineer, unreliable coding is better than nothing, which is what you currently have. Imperfect engineering, you can solve it, repair it, use your very AI coder to help you fix it. But if you got nothing, you're just stranded in the middle of the ocean trying not to starve to death. General, though, it's really good already, and it's only going to get better. You want to be thinking in terms of what is the minimum pressure I can be put in. So, is it going to be nothing? Is it going to be your own personal abilities? Depending on who you are, that could be different. Or is it going to be this level that you have on a little box in your closet waiting for when you need it?
How will the industry adapt if AI coding tokens become unaffordable for individual developers and small businesses?
There's a lot of talk that everything's going to get bigger. Man, this goes back to the monopoly one. So we're starting off right now where there'll be a feature that needs built, and that company owns that feature, and they hire a couple people to build it. And you get to big companies like Microsoft, and they'll have multiple departments, even building different apps and different features. And there's a lot of different things all under one company's umbrella. AI is making it so rapid to build these things that we expect it'll just get to the point where there won't be even enough work for a single company to justify having a single engineer. So you'll have companies that are consultants, or just all they do is build software. And this company will build software for maybe 7, 10, 100 companies out there that need software. So individual developers, that's going to be going away. Small businesses probably going to get rolled up into just a couple giant ones. That's an important question to ask, but the thing that really matters here is your goal isn't to become the richest person on earth. It's not to become the next Elon Musk. Your goal is to have a good life with the people you care about and live out as long as you can live. So you just need to have something that builds things for you. I think for a very long time, there's going to be a niche for that, where it's not famous, it's not sexy, and it's not making some glamorous product that gets the news. But it'll be enough to solve a problem for other people that you'll get enough money, resources, whatever, that you have food, you have hobbies, you have a comfortable home, and you just live your life kind of like now. This is what we're going for right now. We don't need to get super alarmist about something cool happening or big happening, meaning everything's going to go across. There's going to be slivers of spots for normal people like us everywhere. Just make sure that you take advantage of that crack.
What are the implications of AI coding tokens being used as a game changer in the tech industry?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot with just the price of tokens changing what can be done, who can do it. You could say there's a lot of business models opening up now because tokens development is going to get so cheap. That company could do a lot of things that before they wouldn't have been able to justify with the cost. The profit of that tool wouldn't be worth it. The opposite thing's going to happen too, where whenever or whoever wants to jack up the prices, there'll be tools, opportunities that just aren't profitable anymore. This could easily be one way to control what just exists. Because if you decide that you don't like that and you just charge extra for anyone building that type of project for your tokens, then it just won't get built and it won't exist in the world. So it really just comes down to, yes, the price of tokens are going to change everything. It looks like it's going to become the currency of the free world or the whole world. And it's not printed by the government that we voted for. It's just some individual corporation. This is a complete end around. All of this, just take a moment. It's important to realize that in America, we think as order and power and what's happening just comes from the government. It's locked down. This is a one thing. That's not how it works. And most of the world is more aware of this because they have more of a squirrely reality. The American government's pretty strong, so it's the only thing we usually think about. A lot of places, there's a strong battle between the government and corporations. Places like Japan, corporations have a lot more influence on the laws and what's happening in people's lives than the government that they vote for does. If you look back to Western history, religion was just as much the government as the government was. Like, why did religion need to have giant ass castles if they're not going to war and dictating national policy? So because of this, start getting your eyes open to the fact that one company who has more influence than we already might think they do, or that we want them to have, this AI stuff, it's going to crank that up to 1,000. That they could just walk in and go, this is cute. We completely ignore the government of the country we're in. This is what we're doing now because, like, what does the government make? You make laws. We make knowledge. We make tokens. We make the world happen. So if you want to be a part of that, I guess you're doing what we decide. It's going to be a pretty interesting competition between different groups doing the same gig, but this is the name of the game.
How will the pricing of AI coding tokens affect the overall cost of software development?
This is thinking a little small, so it will change the cost of software development. But this is going to change the cost, the availability of pretty much everything. Like, come on, how long have we been living in a modern information society? It might be behind the scenes, but most everything we have this magnitude of it because we're using information technology. And saying, oh, well, this will still exist even without computers. If it's 1 in 1,000, that's not enough for people like you and me to get it. So that doesn't even matter. The price of AI tokens is going to influence pretty much every aspect of our life. It's a nice stand-in for artificial intelligence. Anytime someone says, oh, AI is going to influence all this part of our lives, or it's going to grow eventually in the distant future, it'll control everything. Just substitute that word with tokens, and it's the same thing.
The high cost of AI coding tokens is a necessary evil to ensure the quality and security of software.
Holy crap, this broke it up in all too many pieces. Let's move on to the next section.
What are the benefits of building a local LLM compared to relying on cloud-based services?
Now we're talking. Okay, so we understand that it's a big deal what tokens are doing. Having your own, this sets that minimum floor that we talked about. You'll probably hear from a lot of people, oh, it's weak, it can't do much. Again, it doesn't have to be. It's a spark. You just have to have that spark. You can grow that spark into a fireplace, into a giant flame. Depending on other things you do, like building your communication skills, you will have more time to get that done. But if you don't have that spark, you're just stuck. Again, it's the difference between someone stranded on an island with a starter kit and stranded on an island with nothing. And tomorrow you're going to be just as screwed as you were yesterday. But if you just have that LLM that you can build into a coding LLM, and then from that, you can use it to make anything. You just need that starter kit. So you're not freaking trapped.
How can developers ensure the long-term reliability and maintenance of their local LLM?
Maybe that's something we'll have to get into. Generally, you don't have to worry about it changing much. Once you have it set up, you can just use it. Possibly when we get into security issues, that's something that you need to keep on top of. But at least for your start, where you're just, I just need you to be my spark to start building things. You can use that freaking offline for as long as you need without anything other than pumping it full of electricity. Just don't break it, okay? Eventually you'll build tools that will need to be connected to the internet to really be effective. Those you'll want to make secure. But your actual engine, as long as you keep it on its own, you should be fine. It's probably a good point. We want to separate those as hard as we could. Maybe even have a separate computer where you copy the software it wrote off into another computer, and that one connects to the internet. And if it melts down with attacks, then okay, tell this guy to improve it, copy it over. But you don't have to worry about it leaking over to your LLM and snuffing out your Spark. You got to protect this. It's going to be survival time.
The use of local LLMs is a waste of resources and will ultimately be replaced by cloud-based services.
Well, you could say it's already been replaced by cloud-based services. I would actually say that local LLMs are a new thing. Far newer. If you haven't heard of them or heard about, oh, you could just do it yourself being a normal person, this is why. This is, in a lot of ways, the cutting edge. While we keep up on it, whatever you're seeing that's better online, eventually something similar to that is going to land on your computer. So just keep building up that minimum level that you're existing, that you hold on to. And don't get so stressed out about comparing just because it's not as good as everything else. This isn't your 5-star resort with your family. This is your survival tent that will get you through the worst times so that you could get back to that full life that you wanted.
As a sustainability expert, I'm concerned about the environmental impact of large-scale AI model training and deployment.
Well, that's a complete waste of time. If we want to get into that, I'm also a published environmental scientist. You can look that up. And environmentalism, if you're not a retard, comes down to economics. And we can fix everything. We can fix everything with the environment. It just costs money, often a lot of money. So it's just whether or not it is worth it to do that. But we can do that. And guess what AI is going to do to the economy? Everything. So this just, again, it's just another AI question. Not even like a long, we got to detour and then figure out how to use it, just directly to AI. We can eventually have solved so many problems with our technological advancements that we will have the resources to fix whatever happened to the environment that we want to. Yeah. And come on. People are starving to death. We're going to be worrying about that first. The planet will be fine if we all starve to death and it just regenerates itself. So don't be worrying about that right now. That is in the past.
The development of local LLMs will lead to a new era of decentralized and resilient software development infrastructure.
You know, that's possible. Maybe people would start collaborating with their tools and making them into something competitive with the online versions. This could be the way that you have just underground tech scenes like we used to have back in the 80s and 90s, that as long as these flames are still running, there could be this constant threat of, you can't go completely crazy. These corporations can't go completely crazy because there is always a threat of us eating their lunch. So they'll have to dial it back and seem somewhat sensible, somewhat reasonable. Yeah, interesting. I actually could see someday that becoming the new policy, that just like with guns, we need to outlaw local LLMs. It's just not safe, so that they can remove that competition and have complete control to go hog wild, telling you to do anything they want. Yeah, so I've thought about this many times, that a local LLM, it's your emergency survival kit, and for most people, that includes a gun.
What are the technical requirements for building and maintaining a local LLM?
Okay, this is probably what most people need to know about. How do you actually do this? Skip all the deep technical knowledge. I mean, I've been diving in deep and it's been great. But if you're just a normal person hearing about this first time, if you're just a normal person hearing about this for the first time, how hard is it? Could you really do it? Could you do it? The most beautiful part of this is all of this is like a spark growing into a flame. You only need to understand the smallest bit of it, and that bit will actually teach you. I've been learning so much that I never even knew, and it'll tell you the next step, and then eventually you will become probably a pretty good engineer in a short amount of time. But the best part is you'll learn exactly what you need to know and not all the extra stuff. I know so much general education things about computer science that I don't use. It's not needed, and you can skip all of that. So what might take someone 4 years, you might do that in 4 months. And again, you're going to get to the critical stuff for today right away. Okay. For the building the first one, I'm focusing a little bit about my dream world here right now. So for you have nothing, you have a laptop. What you need to do is to get some hardware that is decent at doing AI calculations. So what that looks like is you need a graphics card with a lot of RAM. I just got one that's 24 gigabytes. I think if you have at least 12, you'll be pretty fine. 8's not enough. If you get yourself a Mac integrated hardware, so most Mac laptops, MacBooks, the little hockey puck thing they have, those actually combine their normal RAM with the video RAM. So those just look for just how much RAM we have, 12 or 24 gigabytes. You're solid with that. Then for the hardware, for the software to build this, go to Claude, they're what is the best right now, and ask it. Sign up for a $20 subscription and say, hey, I'm trying to build a local LLM. This is the hardware I have. What is my first step? And it'll walk you through it. It's actually pretty easy. Day or two, you'll have the software hooked up, everything running. You'll know a lot more about it than you know today, and you will be on your path, guaranteed to have this safety net.
How can developers ensure the scalability and performance of their local LLM?
Scalability is going to get way more about the things you build than your actual hardware. It's funny that after you get past 12 gigabytes of VRAM, of that, it really stops being about the performance of your AI and the performance of what good questions do you ask and what do you build. And then what did you build on top of that? So you don't really need to worry about this. For scalability of the software you build, guess who's going to teach you that? That LLM that you built in your computer. That's what makes this such a powerful thing. Just get that first spark. And everything that you need to know, everything you need to do is going to come from it. So make sure you have that in a way that no one can take it away.
The use of local LLMs is too complex and will only be feasible for large corporations.
The use of LLMs is pretty easy already and is only getting easier every week.
As a cybersecurity expert, I'm concerned about the potential vulnerabilities of local LLMs to attacks and data breaches.
This is actually the best question of all. But we can't answer it right now. Security is the biggest problem with AI, up and down, everywhere. OpenClaw is just rife with people getting hacked. And your LLM and the things you build with it will probably not be built with a lot of security thinking in mind. And that's going to be okay at the beginning. Have those two separate boxes. And this is something we have to figure out, but it's too soon to have the answers. So to put it another way, no one has an answer for this yet. So don't try to solve it when even the biggest experts in the world haven't figured it out. That's just distracting you from other things that you could be doing that are really important. But this is the right question. So keep an eye on it. And then when we do have the answer, you'll be one of the first people to find out and know what to do. There will be some time that hardening your system so that it's secure and everything you've built will be absolutely critical. But for today, it's impossible to do, so don't worry about it too much.
The development of local LLMs will require a fundamental shift in the way software development is approached and will lead to the creation of new industry standards.
Oh yeah, it's all getting changed. Which is why if you're not a major engineer right now, it's not that big of a deal. And I hate to say that because this has been my entire survival for the past 20 years. But what it means to be an engineer is going to be so different that we're all kind of learning it from scratch right now. I see this phrase used online, prompt engineers. And fuck if that isn't true. So let's all start on that. This is actually a very common thing that's not new, that happens in software all the time. When I started software engineering, C++ was a huge deal, biggest thing in the industry. I chose to be an Android developer because that had just been invented, which meant instead of walking into an interview, I'm like, hi, I'm Ethan. I just graduated from college. I have really good grades, and I'm super motivated. Please give me a chance. And they go, this dude has 15 years of experience with C++. What the fuck are we doing with you? I walk into the room and go, hey, I'm Ethan. I love Android engineer. I've already built my first app so we can see what it looks like and talk about it. Why don't we build something together? And they go, you know as much about Android as this dude who's been in the industry for 20 years and costs twice as much. Like, no brainer. We want the new guy. This new stuff that we're talking about, building your own LLM, learning your prompt engineering skills, this is brand new. This is going to put you on equal footing with everybody else. So you'd be a fool to waste that opportunity. And it's such just the right time. Give it a chance. It's going to save your bacon to not do this if you don't miss out on this. All right. So less planned than I like to do. But this is the hard mode that I think I need to do. This is a constant that your communication skills are going to be one of our most critical things for our survival and for enjoying whatever comes out of all this, which is what we really want to do all this for, so we can enjoy living our lives. So keep looking at that all the time. But for today, take your first steps. Just go to Claude.com, ask it, hey, here's what I own. I want to build a basic local LLM. What is the first step I should take? in the next 60 minutes that would get me started. All right? Talk to you later.